What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is your review of Ready to Love. Gonna say put a ring on it. Ready to Love season 6 reunion part 1. So we start the episode off. First of all, y'all know I'm not the fashion person. I'm not a fashionista, but I will say everybody looked nice. Some more than others. I will be honest, but I thought everybody looked really nice. So yeah, like I said, I ain't about to go down each look and all that. I don't do all that. But, ladies and gentlemen, I think the men slayed. A lot of people giving Laverne a hard time. Laverne's outfit was different. It was different. But you remembered it. Anyway, loved Joy's hair. I love her locks, but I was definitely loving the different looks she was giving. And it was cascading down, honey. I was here for that. I love that blue on Carmen, and she had those talons to match. Anyway, yeah. So like I said, I thought everybody looked nice. So we started off talking about all the sex talk. Now I said that in a couple of my reviews that I feel like this cast is probably giving up more sexual innuendos, more, double entendres and all of that. So they had all the clips. We had Tori talking about that he be poking kidneys, and people talking about gag reflexes and eating pickles, and it was just a whole lot talking about. It was just some things that was going on. Okay, now I don't know what was really going on behind closed doors, but on camera, baby, they was definitely putting it out there. Carmen said, "Listen, that's natural. We are single." And we are, we a mature crowd. So, we're going to talk about sex. We like what we like. We want kind of thing. I said, okay. It is what it is. So then they talked about the blind dates and that added twist. And did people like it or did people not like it? And ultimately, I think the biggest person that said they didn't like it was Tina. But we know Tina struggled with the show. Again, she started doing interviews and she started speaking on it. But we know that, she, at one point, she just stopped showing up. And then she even stood up Tommy and pretty much just quit the show. So, I don't know if her experience would have been any different had she started at the beginning. Or if her problems are connected to her coming in late, right? Donovan, Eric, Carmen, and Cornelius, they all said, that it was cool. Cornelius was like, I didn't know what was going on. Like, I ain't know what was going on. So that was a little bit of an adjustment. But they said that their dates were cool and that everybody made them feel comfortable, with their dates and everything, right? So then we talked about the little lake party where they got to playing Truth or Dare, which of course Laverne got blamed for because it looked like he was setting off some mess. All he said was, let's play some Truth or Dare, which I said before was probably production whispering in somebody's ear saying, look, this is boring, y'all not doing that, and we need to step it up. I need y'all to do something. And so they came up with Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare is always a party starter. It's going to start some shit. I don't care if you've ever played Truth or Dare, you already know that Truth or Dare is going to start. It's going to start some stuff. So we saw a couple of the other truths that we didn't see, or dares that we didn't see on camera. So Wiley, he had to do a slow dance next to the person that he was feeling, and so he went over to Tina and he kind of did like a little, broke pimp situation. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what he was giving. We saw who else? We saw another dare with somebody else, but then of course we got to the infamous one with Sabrina having to pick whose ear she was going to nibble on, and that just seemed like the beginning of the end with Sabrina and Tori. Now, Sabrina said that the situation was awkward, and it made it more awkward because Joy was yelling out, go ahead, Tori, and she didn't go to Tori, she went to Demetrius. And Joy was like, but, because that's all you've been talking about was Tori. And Sabrina was like, I didn't just talk about Tori. I was talking about other people. And Joy was like, wait a minute. When we were in the ladies' lounge, it was always about Tori. So what reason would I have not to think that Tori was the person you were going to choose? It was always Tori. No, I talked about other people too. And I felt like she was coming for Joy. Joy stood her own. But even Tommy was like, I thought you was going to choose Tori too. So that says to me that Joy ain't crazy and that everybody felt like Tori was your number one. Now, on Demetrius, and Demetrius said, hey, Sabrina was always my number one. I wasn't thinking about anybody but Sabrina, which I find interesting, Demetrius. But again, I'm not there for everything. But I just remember that bus ride when y'all was touring downtown DC, and you had a perfect opportunity to be bunned up with Sabrina on the back of that bus and looking at the cherry blossoms and listening to the tour guide, and y'all could have been on like y'all own little personal situation, and you sat in the back of that bus and they had nothing to say to nobody, which I found interesting because if she was your number one, you want to date with her, you ain't showing her no attention. Anyway, but we also found out that Demetrius was kind of feeling some kind of way because he had found out that Sabrina had been on some dates with Donovan outside of the cameras, and they had a little bit of kissy going on, a little loo. And Demetrius felt some kind of way, and Demetrius was like, it wasn't so much about the kiss as it was about the fact that she wasn't the one that told me. Now, some people are saying that Donovan was being messy because he didn't have no reason to tell Demetrius other than to blow up his spot or blow up her spot. I see both sides of the coin. I definitely feel like did Donovan have to share that with Demetrius? But then the flip side of that is if Demetrius found out about it later and him, maybe Donovan and Demetrius are building like a real legit friendship and he felt like, look, bruh, I just need to let you know, yada, yada, yada. Now, this also linked back to, according to Sabrina, why she didn't want to meet Demetrius's family because she said that Demetrius told his mom about that situation and she felt some kind of way about meeting his mother, knowing that she probably already had some sort of preconceived notions and felt some kind of way about her because of the whole kiss situation. Personally, I'm going to call BS on that. It's a show. It's part of the show. It's a process in the show. If you were interested in this man, at some point you won't have to meet his mama. Stand in it. Okay, you kissed another man. He probably kissed another woman. I mean, it's part of the process. I don't know. I think that was an excuse that she used to not do what she didn't want to do, which is meet Demetrius' family. Anyway. So then we have a whole package on Carmen and Donovan and how they made their love connection, and that was great, and I was happy for them. They are really beautiful together. They look like, you follow them on Instagram, they really look like they are building a really solid relationship, and I am happy for them. Because here's the thing. In this process, you may not always end up with the person that you thought you liked or that you were gravitating towards. But then after the fact or outside of the fact, you find a connection. I mean, we still have, 2 couples from last season that didn't make it to the end. We've got Camille and Cornelius, and we have, last I heard, Naeem and old girl was still together. So congratulations to them, right? So anyway, then we had to have this whole situation with Eric and Dakia. Look, the story is the same. We got the story. They were taking a picture. Dakia made a comment about, oh, this looking like a high school prom picture because he had his arms around her waist. And he was like, this ain't no prom picture. He took his hands and he put them on her breast. She said she immediately turned to him, slapped him on his hand, on his chest, and was like, don't touch me like that. I'm a lady. Don't do that. Eric's thing was he didn't realize it was that big of a deal. He thought they would kind of laughed it off and moved on. She felt very violated in that moment. Now, let me say this to you. As a woman, I am never going to tell, you as a person, but definitely as a woman, I'm never going to tell another woman when and how to feel violated. If somebody touches you in a way that makes you uncomfortable and you didn't get them permission to touch you, you have every right to feel the way you feel. You have every right to say, this is not somebody that I want to be around, and this is not somebody that I want in my life. And that's period on that. Period. Boom. We're moving on. As far as Eric is concerned, I'm not really sure where the anger was coming because Eric was cussing and he seemed to be really, really angry. I'm not sure where the anger came from other than maybe things that were said outside of what we saw in group text messages and among each other. The kid did mention that he had his friends that were making comments and making things worse. I do know that this incident on some level divided the cast. I don't want to say Team Eric and Team Dakia or Dakia, but it seemed to almost be like that. Again, people seem to have an issue with the fact that Joy, who was sitting next to Eric at the time when that segment was over, she gave him a hug. I don't think that it was inappropriate because I didn't see the hug as Eric, you're right and she's wrong. I saw the hug as I got you. I'm here. Like I'm here because it was a lot. And again, which y'all have to remember, they filming for 12 hours. For that 5-minute conversation that we saw between the Kia and Eric breaking down what happened, that was probably a 30-minute conversation. And it does look like it got heated. Like I said, Eric was cussing. Tommy had to sort of kind of step in at one point. And so I think it's just deeper, and I think that's where that hug was coming from Joy. I think it was just I got you. I don't think it was a dismissal of what happened. Now, Eric said that because of the fact that they had been talking off camera and they had, probably had some sexy talk, and he said they had kissed a couple of times, he didn't think it was inappropriate. Here's the thing. You could be a full-on relationship with somebody and not want them to grab your breast in a picture that's going to be posted or that might be posted somewhere in front of a whole bunch of people. Like, that still just may not be something that she's comfortable with. And again, like I say, full stop, period. So there was that. At one point, Sabrina and Donovan got into it, and then Precious got into it, and Donovan called them the Golden Girls. Only reason why I'm mentioning that is because that seems to be something that's sort of kind of out there on the social media and it's sticking. I don't think he was calling them Golden Girls as in they were old. I think he was saying as in a clique, okay? So, anyway, moving on. I think it's Sabrina, Precious, maybe Dakia. I don't know who the Golden Girls are, child. So then we have Laverne's moment. And they talked about Laverne and how Laverne was called arrogant and a narcissist and things like that. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be very transparent and I'm going to be real. Y'all know how I felt about Laverne. I was very harsh on Laverne. I said some very harsh things about Laverne. Then I met Laverne in person. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. In person, he's not a bad guy. What he said here is, he said, listen, I'm confident. And for a lot of people, he said, for a lot of people that just rubs them the wrong way. He said, I'm sorry if you don't think that you're the shit, but I do. Now that, I don't think he said that, I said that. But, he was like, I'm sorry if you don't think that I am, he said, when I walk in the room, I feel like I'm the shit. Like, I am the man. He said, that don't mean there ain't other people in here. He said, I think everybody on this cast, they got it going on. Like, I'm not putting anybody down to raise myself up. And I think that people misunderstand that when I'm talking about how great I am, it doesn't mean I'm putting somebody else down. So then they talked about the whole elimination thing where he was talking about he heard about the plot to get rid of him. Now, listen, Precious did a whole lot of explaining because Precious was the one that allegedly was the one that had said it. So Precious did a whole lot of explaining about how Carmen, Tina, her, they were in this little thing where they were trying to get rid of Laverne, but Tina got cleared because Tina ain't answered the phone. Carmen, I think, got cleared because I don't remember why, but Carmen, I think, got cleared. But it ended up looking real messy with Precious. Now, Precious and Laverne ended up getting into it. Now, Laverne did apologize to Sabrina later on that night for the conversation, the way things ended. And he admitted that, he came in hot because he had heard about this whole plot to get rid of him. Now, we found out that, Ace self-eliminated after he was eliminated because she really didn't have, that was the connection, that was the relationship she wanted to move forward with. And what we found out was that her and Laverne did date for a little while after the show, after they left the show, but it didn't really work out. It fizzled out. And Laverne said, listen, it's me. It's 100% me. I did not, nurture the connection. And Joy basically said, yeah, like I'm not going to keep trying to nurture soil that's not bearing me fruit. So that sounds like Laverne dropped the ball. And then not Joy, I said Joy. I didn't mean Joy, I meant Ace. If I said Joy, y'all, I meant Ace. Please don't put that in my comments. I meant Ace. Ace done blocked him on social media, so it sounds deeper than that to me. I don't know. I'm not one of them people that be doing a whole bunch of blocking. I just ignore you. But she done blocked him out, honey. So anyway, we ended their segment with Never Say Never, child. As far as them trying to hook back up and reconnect. Never say never. But I'm going to say never because we all know that Ace is now dating Tyrone from last season. And I wish them well. They look cute together. They look like they really are vibing. Wish them well. So I'm going to say never. Anyway, that was pretty much part one. Part two looks like it gets real explosive. And all that other stuff. Look like a whole lot goes down in part two. So we're going to get to that, honey. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.